Health and safety induction. Good safety is no accident. As a construction worker, you are 6 times more likely to die at work than in any other industry. Do you still think safety is not your responsibility? General rules. All operatives must sign in at the start of each day and sign out at the end of each day on chime. And for client, the welfare facilities will be those as indicated during the site induction. Before new work activities commence, RAMS for the work you are about to carry out must be read and fully understood. These may be followed up with a series of toolbox talks as work progresses or as circumstances change. Should you not fully understand the RAMS, then you should not commence the works. Smoking is only permitted within designated areas. No smoking is permitted within the existing building. The use of mobile phones, radios, etc. are strictly prohibited. Mobile phones may only be used within the designated areas or in an emergency. Materials are to be stored as directed by the site management. All operatives have an obligation to work in a safe and tidy manner. All employees will also be required to attend the contractor induction. Any person under medication must report this to the Rochford site management. Confidential matters can be reported to Denise Rochford via head office. Due care and attention must be taken when undertaking works involving the site boundary. No work is to be carried out beyond the site boundary without the correct instructions. No works involving compressors and hand tools are to be undertaken until you have received the appropriate HAVs, RAMS. Should asbestos or contaminated ground be found, cease works immediately and report to Rochford management. You must not alter any scaffolding without permission. You must not enter a trench without the necessary protective measures being taken. These will be as described within the relevant RAMS. Ensure all guards to moving parts are in place. Anyone found to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol will be dismissed. Plant and machinery. Only authorized and properly trained operatives are allowed to drive or operate plant, vehicles or equipment. Ensure daily and weekly inspections are completed on chime, in line with LOLER and PUWER. All plant and machinery must be in good working order and regularly maintained. If defective in any way, don't use it, report it. Keep speed to a minimum and be aware of persons around you. Ensure all guards to moving parts are in place. Turn off plant and equipment when not in use and remove keys. Electricity. Electrical equipment must only be used with a 110 volts supply and with proper plug connections in sound condition. Keep cables clear of the ground where possible and always away from water. Never carry out makeshift repairs or use damaged cables or equipment. Always report defects. Do not start any electrical equipment under load. Never adjust electrical equipment without first disconnecting the supply. Excavations. Never dig without a permit to dig, break ground, before checking with a CAT and then finding any existing services by hand. Excavators and other mechanical plant breakers etc. must not be used within 500 mm of any known services. Safe means access and egress must be provided and maintained. Shoring is required to any excavation where the sides may collapse. Guardrails are required to any excavation to stop persons falling in. Stop blocks are required if there is a possibility of vehicles approaching the edges. Never end an excavation unless authorized to do so. You must not operate plant without the necessary training, e.g. banking a crane, driving a dumper, excavator. A copy of your ticket must be uploaded on chime. All plant operators are required to hold a Fit for Work certificate. When working around excavators, you should be aware and vigilant of the excavator's swing area. Only enter the working zone once the excavator has been disabled and the operator's permission has been granted. Live electricity cables and other services exist in and around the site. CAT scans or services surveys must be carried out prior to works commencing within any new area. A permit to break ground, or similar, must be completed by Rochford prior to works commencing. Manual handling. Always use mechanical lifting aids first. Never attempt to lift a load that is too heavy or awkward. Max 25 kilograms. Get help. Lift using the legs, not your back. Keep your head up and your back straight. Wear safety footwear. Crushed toes are painful. Wear gloves when handling sharp objects. Work at height. Work at height needs to be planned. Wherever possible, use working platforms, erected and inspected by a trained person. Incomplete platforms or damaged equipment must never be used. Work platforms, scaffolding, mobile towers, hop-ups must all be erected by a trained person and a record of inspection before use and then every 7 days. Ladders and step ladders can only be used as a workplace in very special circumstances, after a detailed risk assessment and approved by the site manager. The use of MUPs and scissor lifts must be planned and only operated by trained persons. Arrangements for rescue must be considered. No works at height are to be undertaken until such time as a specific RAMS has been prepared, and only then by persons qualified to do so. Accident reporting. Report all accidents to your supervisor and obtain first aid treatment as required. Follow accident action plan. Complete accident book entry for all accidents. For serious accidents or injuries to members of the public, contact Denise Rochford. Fire. Get to know your exit route in case of fire. Take note of fire extinguisher locations and operation. Be aware of site fire procedures and obey no smoking signs. Ensure all hot works using flame torch, welding, spark generating, etc. are managed with a hot works permit. Never interfere with equipment provided for firefighting. Personal protective equipment. Safety helmets are required by law where there is risk of injury to the head. Wear head protection at all times. Eye protection is required by law where an operation is likely to cause eye injury, sparks, dust, flying particles of stone or metal. You must wear goggles when cutting, grinding, or using a breaker. Hearing protection is required by law where plant equipment or operations make it necessary to shout to be heard. You must protect your hearing when working near or working with noisy equipment. Foot protection. Good footwear is essential on building sites. Falling objects on toes and stepping on projecting nails can cause serious injuries. Always wear proper boots or shoes that provide toe and sole protection. Hand protection. Adequate and suitable hand protection is required when handling concrete products, reinforcement steel and chemicals that can damage the skin. Open cuts and scratches can lead to infection. Industrial dermatitis can seriously affect your whole life, prevented by wearing your gloves. Safety harness, or fall arrest devices must be worn when working at heights or entering shafts or tanks. Harnesses prevent falls and act as a rescue device from shafts, pits and tanks. Remember, you play an important part in protecting your own safety and that of your fellow workers. Always take note of all safety rules and obey them. Cooperate with your supervisor and report all hazards. Always use safety equipment and personal protection. Always use toilets provided and maintain in good order. Understand and work to your risk assessments and method statement. Report accidents and near misses. Never work under the influence of alcohol or drugs, including prescribed medication which may affect your safety. Play the fool on site. Always act sensibly. Ignore safety signs. Abuse or interfere with items provided for the safety of yourself or others. Operate plant or equipment if you are not trained or authorized to do so. A, B, C. Always be careful.